And what clothes can I wear? This was such a frustrating thing for me as I reverted to the faith. And I wanted to be living my faith more fully, but it was a little ambiguous. Skirts, no skirts, tank tops, no tank tops, bikinis, no bikinis. So frustrating. And what is modesty anyway? So this video is for those of you who really want to unpack that. And it's not just for girls. I've got some nuggets in here for guys too. So stay tuned. Welcome, especially all you newbies. Thank you for hopping on over. My name's Lauren, for those of you who are new. And here at the Crunchy Catholics, we like to cultivate the pure and the true. So if that's something that you want to do, go ahead and click subscribe, join our crew, and hit that bell notification icon too. Modesty. Modesty. That term had to grow on me because when I heard it originally, when I was kind of newer to living out my faith, it was like, modesty, drag, boring, ugly. But it's not. It's a lot more than that. In this video, I'm going to give you several parts. The first part, we're going to talk theology. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what modesty means. We're going to talk over the topic, and you're not even going to realize we're still talking about modesty. And then in part two, I'm going to go ahead and get into the application of it. What can I wear and what can't I wear? And finally, number three, I'm going to give you a little bit about my modesty journey, where I've come, where I'm at now, and I'm going to end this with a rant. All right, let's hop right to this. Let's start getting into the nitty-gritty about modesty. Part one, we're going to be talking about what the Catechism says about modesty. And hang on, we will get there, but we have to discuss a few prerequisite things before we can really jump right into modesty. And you're going to have to be patient with me. I have notes on this because it is pretty dense. We're going to start by defining concupiscence. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize, but I believe it's pronounced concupiscence. And concupiscence is the intense form of human desire. Okay? And while concupiscence is not a sin in and of itself, concupiscence is the movement of the sensitive appetite in contradiction to the will. It's those things that we really want really bad and we know we shouldn't have it. So from the heart can come evil desires like murder and adultery and fornication. And this is what we define as concupiscence, those types of like carnal desires that we know are wrong and we shouldn't do. To struggle against this, we must purify our heart and practice temperance. So purifying your heart, purity, let's define that. To be pure of heart is those who've attuned their intellects and their wills to the demands of God's holiness, mainly in three areas. We're going to be talking about the second area today in regards to modesty. But in order to be pure of heart, these three areas are charity, chastity, and love of truth. I love this because it connects the mind, body, spirit, or heart, body, spirit. The heart being charity, you're serving others, and the body being chastity, and love of truth being your spiritual connection with your Creator. So to be pure of heart, you need to have that heart, body, spirit in tuned with the will of God. Got it? Purity requires modesty. So that second area, the body, chastity. To be pure, you must have modesty. It is a part of temperance. Temperance is moderation and the will's mastery over the desires. I want that, but I choose to do this instead. Modesty protects the inmost center of the person. I'm going to be reading straight from the Catechism right here because this says it so well. Modesty protects the mystery of persons and their love. It encourages patience and moderation in loving relationships. It requires that the condition for the definitive giving and commitment of man and woman to one another be fulfilled. Modesty is decency. In other words, We have to wait till everything is ordered as God wants it in order to show our intimate center to, in theory, our spouses if we're called to married life. Modesty inspires one's choice in clothing. It keeps silence or reserve where there is evident risk of unhealthy curiosity. It is discreet. So essentially, modesty is part of your heart, spirit connection to God. Modesty is about you. Modesty is about unifying your will and tempering your desires and connecting that with God's plan for your life. And you're going to use your judgment within the lens of God's plan to decide each situation what the modest choice would be. Yes, this involves our clothes. But no, it is not limited to our clothes. It's our words, it's our actions, it's our decisions about where we go and what we do. So this is why modesty is not just for women. It's not just about slapping on a skirt or slapping on a turtleneck and check, we are modest. Absolutely not. It is so much more than that. Modesty is not a skirt. Modesty is not a turtleneck. Modesty is ordering your will with God. Oh, it's all gone.